cut off the beginning of the last one, so we're going to wait a couple seconds. Before it,
Dun, 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 dun.
The pop really did.
The pop really did it.
Try to mix it up a little bit. Remix.
Remix. All right. Stand by, my friends.
Can anyone beatbox?
No.
This summer, prepare to have your heart blown to bits with love.
I really don't know what to say right now.
Nice.
I must be in hell.
As you experience a love story that will transcend space and time.
Wow, it's like we're destined to bump into each other at the same time, at the same place, every day.
I think this girl's a little insane.
Thanks.
Palsy with love.
Coming to a theater near you.
What the hell are you doing? No one's supposed to know this exists.
No one would have noticed if you didn't say anything.
On this episode of the Points of Interest podcast, it's 420, so smoke 'em if you got 'em. And if we remember, WrestleMania highlights. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja, and right over there, she is my podcasting partner for life. She is the Duchess of Dogs. It is Miss Savannah.
And that's a DAWG, by the way.
Even further over there, he is my best friend and podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy and the Earl of Earls. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Ooh, I like an Earl.
I don't know what that means, really.
I don't care. It's cool. I'll take an Earl anytime.
And I would be your Duke of Disappointment.
At least you got the double D's going. That's all I have to say.
As just a little funny offshoot thing, my first apartment when I ventured out of a relationship at my mom's house was an apartment double D, apartment number 69.
I thought you called yourself the Duke of that apartment.
No. There was a Duke of that apartment complex, but he was a drug dealer. Yeah. Every apartment, every door in this complex had a nice big door number to let you know what apartment number it was in, except for mine. Mine had a handwritten note just shoved into a little thing on the door because everybody kept stealing the 69 numbers.
Oh, where did that happen? There's marker 69 on the highways, and they would steal it, and so they had to make it 6.87 or something because they wanted to be able to stop stealing it. I was like, oh.
Very similarly here, there is mile marker 420, which is kind of apropos for the show, right? But they recently changed it to 420.1.
You'd think people would steal that anyway.
I think people still did steal it, to be honest with you. But why that? I mean, we got High Street. I would much rather steal that sign. I mean, theoretically.
Well, I like that it's 3 minutes in, and we still haven't discussed the trailer that you played at the beginning of the show.
Well, okay, so I had to pull that out of retirement, briefly, just because I stumbled upon it, and when I heard it, it warmed my heart.
The cockles of your heart,
somewhere in there,
and
it reminded me of a time where, when we barely all knew each other, barely any of us in that trailer had actually met each other yet in person.
Is that true?
I believe that was true at that time.
Oh my God. Now I got to look it up because I think, because that trailer, I created it a year. No, not a year. I mean, 6 months after we did the thing, because my plan was that we would all do that thing, which is my little radio play,
Right.
but it never happened. So I don't even know what I did with it. I don't know what I did with the audio, but I'm glad you have it still. I know I have it somewhere, but that's insane. That trailer still exists. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I mean,
The whole thing exists. It's like what, 10 minutes long or something like that. It's a pretty long.
It's like a 2-minute trailer, and I basically cut it in half, not spliced it, but cut it at the half point, basically.
Oh yeah, it's pretty long.
Yeah, but it was awesome, and like I said, it reminded me of a time of when we all, like I said, we all knew each other only through Twitter and Skype.
Yeah,
and you put this story together, which was and is funny as hell, and had enough trust in these people that you had met on the internet to try and bring this thing that you wanted to do come alive. And it was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I love that everyone was willing to. I wish we had known. Well, you knew Savannah. Why didn't you bring her in?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I don't know why we didn't bring Savannah in at the time. I really don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure we knew you at the time, or at least Josh knew you at the time. This was maybe 7 years ago, I think, give or take.
Yeah.
And I had wanted to do. I had wanted to do a project that were we Points of Interest podcast back then, or were we?
We were the
nerd
network
food or whatever.
It was an amalgamation of the junk food and
junk
Points
food,
of
that's right.
Interest
Junk food.
and Next Elements and
An
an Elegant Weapon
Oh God!
and
I
and
remember all
Nerdalicious.
those.
And we came together. I had this idea. We came together. People seemed to be on board with it. I didn't have any lines until the end. I wrote it. I wrote a script. I did that trailer, and people seemed into it. And I'm really sad that it just never came in. I mean, hopefully there's still time. Like I know
totally.
It's 7 years old.
Yeah,
It's still.
It's not like it's gonna deteriorate or something. It's all there.
Just
And
wish I
if
could
it needs,
find where the hell I put it.
True. I have no problems telling you. I have tried to pitch it to people, like
Oh wow!
like
Thank
for
you.
student projects and whatnot. I'm like, look, I've got a great story here. It's not my story. I'm just the middleman, but I get you in touch with somebody. This great story about palsy with love. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was well, and the palsy was my Bell's palsy. So anyone who don't be offended, it's Bell's palsy. And it was when I had it, and that's where my inspiration came from. Because half the right side of my face didn't move, and it didn't last very long. And it normally doesn't. It's a weird thing that just happens out of nowhere and is a very temporary thing, but it just happens randomly. And I'm like, oh, well, what if every time this guy fell in love, the Bell's palsy happened?
Oh.
And it was silly. It was really silly. And again, nothing too serious, but yeah, it was a fun little project to write about. And it was a nice little love story.
Well, and you have this amazing Sylvester Stallone impression.
Oh yeah,
that you used as which, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not, help develop that during the Bell's palsy episode?
Well, yeah, sort of. Like when it happened, the reason why it happened, or the reason why that voice came about, was because again, half your face kind of goes numb, and so so I just feel like it just came out like that. And Anthony Bachman, who played the protagonist in this, would say something at the very end. He would stop, and then I would just take over and start talking. And it was the silliest thing ever. But it was, oh man, it was just so much fun. That was such a fun project. It took us like 3 weeks to do, with rehearsals and stuff, and it was just a really fun project.
It was great. I had a lot of fun. Lots of fun. Boys and girls, it is 420. So
What does that mean?
Well, it's kind of funny that you bring that up because there's a lot of confusion,
Misinformation?
I guess, or misinformation. I'm not even the correct source to find this information. I'm just here to try to entertain. I thought maybe I should look this up, but I didn't, and now I'm regretting that I didn't. But to the best of my knowledge, 420 initially originated sometime in the 70s at a college somewhere in California, where they decided at that time that's what they were, a group of peoples were going to meet and smoke some marijuana. And
It didn't start 420 AD. It started in.
I mean, well, marijuana use did start a long time ago in a galaxy here.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I believe just recently they found some relics of marijuana or cannabis in sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Sarcophaguses.
Our sarcophagus is a single
sarcophagus,
and there's sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Just like penis and peni.
I don't know if that's what it is.
It isn't. It's not sarcophagi. No.
No, penis and penis.
Oh, oh no! I'm joking about the penis and peni thing. I don't know what. I'm joking about that part. I don't know. But okay, yeah. It's been around for a while. I mean, it's an, as they say, a herb. Marijuana is a herb.
It is definitely a herb. It is definitely a herb. I work in the industry, so I'm totally okay to talk about it. I know, and before Francis even says anything, yes, I know you don't have any or very, very little experience. But
I mean, I've been around it enough. I've been around the culture. I have been. So I was at Venice Beach once, many years ago, probably like 1998, 1997. And it was me and a buddy. We were walking Venice Beach, and we go into the shop, and it's full of incense and incense holders. And the guy looks at me, then looks at my buddy, and he says to him, I got the good stuff in the back. You want me to, you want any? Like, I'll sell you some. Didn't think I wanted any for some reason, because I was Mr. Straight Laced.
Yeah, you're straight.
Whatever boy. But over my friend over here, like, he wants a little bit of the, as they say back in the 20s, of the reefer. Oh, the madness. Great movie, by the way. Watch Reefer.
It is a great movie. It is a great movie to watch when you're high.
Not the original one. Watch the newer one. The newer one's even better.
No, watch the original one high off your ass. God. It's laughable because nobody in life ever has acted that way when they're high.
You want to grow a second head?
I mean, you might get somebody that thinks that
today.
You might get somebody that thinks they could play the piano. Fair. But no. Like, most people are ready to, smoke some weed, giggle a whole bunch, eat some Cheetos, and they're good to go.
I've seen Half Baked. I understand.
But you have been. I have made you drive me to dispensaries when I'm out in California.
Yes.
And even though you don't partake, for some reason you decide to go in, which is awesome.
I don't care. Yeah.
No, I think that's great because you're not afraid of it.
No, I understand what it is. I know what it is. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you don't. People used to come into my shop and they might have never smoked weed before, and they'd be like, "Oh God, I don't know," and just they're all tippy-toey about everything. And it's just relax. It's just like going to 7-Eleven. Just think of it that you've never been to 7-Eleven before and you don't know where anything is.
Is that your experience, Savannah, going into a dispensary?
Yes,
it's like going
actually acting that way, yes, because like where I'm from, it's not quite fully legal, and so you're just like, can I talk? Because like there's head shops here, but of course they're for tobacco and stuff. So when you're actually looking, you're like, can I use that for that? You know what I mean? Like, you feel like you're still doing illegal stuff.
Oh, you feel dirty.
So that's why people are in there so sheepish. Like, oh, I don't know.
You mean no one goes in there confidently like, yeah, I'll take one of those because I know what it does or something? Like nobody comes in confidently. Like,
I mean,
I'm sure after a while.
Yeah, people seasoned people would come in and they know exactly what they want, so they're here to, especially around 420. They're like, "What are your deals? I'll take this, and this. Have a great day. See you later."
Nice. Well, that's nice. Well, that's good.
More common than not, you will get 10 people. Okay, pre-COVID, you get about 10 people come into the store all at the same time. They look around for 10 minutes, and then go, "How much is joints? We'll take one."
Oh God.
Do you have any matches? No, you don't smoke weed with matches. No, you could buy a lighter though. And have fun smoking that one hit you're going to get out of that joint with the 10 people you have there. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure I'll see you later.
You know, they've all heard of the story of passing it around. So they're like, "Oh, I only need one. We could just pass it around."
Now, I want to show an example of something that I feel that if this was the joint that I was handed as my very first joint, I would probably...
How angry would you be?
I would probably not start smoking weed.
Oh, wow. Oh,
This is embarrassing. So I have posted this on the socials. I'm going to try and do this without knocking everything over and totally overexposing myself. But holy shit, this is hard to do. Okay. This isn't going to work with the green screen action. I'm all crispy.
Because it's green.
I'm all crispy. But see that shit on the end of this? Like, that is ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. I mean, fine if you're going to put half a gram into a gram paper, but cut off the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Look at how much better that looks. That was so simple. And
so why do you think they don't do that?
Loose
then? Is it just
as
because
hell.
of that 1 second of extra work?
This is the loosest butthole joint I've ever touched in my life. It's disappointing. And I could put the dispensary on blast right now, but I'm not going to.
It's the one you used to work for.
No, it would not have surprised me though, because their joints suck. Their joints suck as well.
Right.
And look, it's pre-roll, right? You get what you pay for, and you know that's why you should learn to roll or at least stuff your own joints. I think. I
mean, it's a good skill to have, sure.
Yeah. Just as a kind of little bullet point, when I did work in a dispensary, I sold weed to a lot of different people. Everything from just 21-year-old kids and younger, actually, because I ran a medical shop as well. So like 18-year-old kids, up to suits, lawyers, and doctors. I wrote a little bullet point list down here. I sold weed to current and ex-football players.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Kayfabe, total kayfabe.
Yeah.
A current local NBA star, the entire A-line of a hockey team, a commentator for the same team.
Oh, God.
And denied David Spade entry because his ID was expired.
No one knows what state you're in either, which is good.
I have also gotten a Power Ranger. Which one? I won't tell. But I've gotten a Power Ranger high off their ass. And it was great. I didn't even watch the Power Rangers. I didn't even know who he was. He was just a cool guy.
All right. Well,
I don't know. I don't
Well,
really.
no,
I don't know
here's
what
the real question. Where's the real asterisk? These are the people I flirted with while they were trying to buy weed from me.
Oh, I could. I mean, I dated a girl that used to come into my store and buy weed from me.
Now, would you flirt with someone with Savannah's hair
All day, especially
all day?
since she went and put the choker on.
Just
for me.
Yeah.
Just for me.
There you go.
Because that's the kind of friendship you have after 10 years.
Yeah.
Just about 10 years, if not just over 10 years. It's kind of funny, actually, Savannah. I was going through the DMs looking for somebody that I had to get in hold of, that I hadn't talked to in a long time, and ran across our chain of conversation, because apparently we don't DM very much, apparently. And since I saw it there, I was like, "Oh, let's just see what this chain has in it." And it has our very first conversation of when I tried to spit raps at you way back in the day.
Wow.
Now I gotta go find them.
Yeah, it's great. It's great and awkward. So I don't know if Savannah smokes or consumes weed, but you know, hey, it's not my story to tell. But I am also glad that she has no problem with me consuming heavily, either over the internet or in person.
Why would I?
Well, some people do. You'd be really surprised.
Yeah, there is still like a stigma behind it.
Very much
I guess.
Very much
Yeah.
so. I have been asked by people to not even be high around them.
Oh.
And that I kind of giggled, because I was like, well, I mean, every time you see me, I've been high as hell, but okay, that's cool. I'll try.
Now you're gonna see the personality change.
There's no difference. That's the thing. Like 20 years ago, sure, total personality change, because it was something new, and it's just like alcohol. You know, there's a personality change with alcohol. Especially when you first start using alcohol, there's definitely a personality change. You know,
Yeah, there's
Francis tries to turn races and turn red and stuff.
I do. I turn red. I get the fever. I get the Asian fever, because
The
Asians
reefer
have
madness.
He gets all
I
blushy.
get the madness.
He just
The
tries to
alcohol
turn into
madness.
like this new humanoid that's just like, instead of like he's like a chameleon almost, but there's nothing red around him. He's just going red.
I can't process alcohol properly, and yet I drink it because it's fun. No,
Yeah.
I drink it socially. I mean, if I'm around people who are doing it, I'll. And that's the funny thing. Someone who drinks beer every day, nobody bats an eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because some people just drink beer every single day. They pop their Pabst Blue Ribbon, or
Oh man, Francis, I just got heartburn hearing those words.
okay.
I just had a PBR like 3 days ago.
Oh, there you go. See,
A pounder.
Savannah.
or their Natty Light, right? They'll have that going.
Wait. Hold the phone for a second. Savannah, what happened to sipping half of a shot over a course of 3 hours to having a full-size PBR?
What? Baby steps.
Okay.
Well, were you partying?
No.
Was it a social event?
No.
Were you home watching a movie?
I was not by myself. No. I was visiting my friend who works at a bar, but it's a very quiet, small bar.
Mm.
And it's also 2 blocks from my house.
How big is that? How big? Like that?
Like a pounder, like a 16-ounce. The tall cans.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
Drink
the whole thing?
That's a big baby. That's a big baby step.
No kidding.
What? It's like the same thing.
That's like me going from like one of those little joint things that Josh showed to dabbing.
It is not.
I feel so bad for all the people I gave dabs to before I really understood the art of dabs.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's not this.
oh God, it's like it's so much better at a much cooler temperature that like I feel so bad for all the people. I was just like, I just took the torch off the nail. I'm like, go ahead.
Oh, and they burnt their lungs. Yeah,
And everybody would scorch their lungs because there's just like straight fire going into them.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Duke of Disappointment. Duke of Disappointment.
Oh.
So I saw something funny. It was a meme.
Memes.
What's that?
Memes.
Memes are
What
great.
memes?
There was a lady that had tried to eat a live octopus
Oh,
some
they got
sort of
past their
streaming
face.
on some sort of streaming service, and it attacked her face.
Good.
And the caption made me pee myself just a little bit. It said "screaming in hentai."
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
It made me giggle. I don't really have a beginning or an ending to that. That was just something that
She
popped
cut
in
her.
my head.
She cut her. Like she was bleeding. She cut her lip on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an octopus sucking your face. Not in a good way.
Not in the way you'd like.
Savannah looks like she likes tentacles. They're right. It's the space hair. So kawaii.
Savannah looks like the type of chick that would like the gas mask bong.
Oh jeez, like Tank Girl. Yeah. I see that. Good hair.
Yeah. I just felt like having space buttons today.
Oh, geez.
I mean, it works.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies, Francis. Josh, do you remember the first time we hung out and you gave me a sucker? And then I just
like
time traveled
the edible or
and-
the really long hug I was giving you.
What?
The edible I gave you or the really long hug I was giving you?
Both.
Oh, okay.
But the sucker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That sucker, just for context, everybody had 30 milligrams of THC, but it also had like 10 to 15 milligram of CBD in it, which does really balance out the entire effect. But 30 is a lot. It is a
I
big...
time traveled.
She did. We were at ECCCCCCCC, and at one point I looked over and said, "Are you okay, Savannah?" And she looked over at me about 10 minutes later and said, "Everything's in slow motion." And I looked.
Wow.
I looked at Darth Cleavage and said, "We need to get her to the hotel now."
And everyone's stripped.
Something's. Yes, that did happen as well. I was just standing there, going, "Wow, I need to go to ECCCCCCC more to meet chicks I've met on the internet. This is great. They just take their clothes off around me. They're not interested, but they take their clothes off around me. It's great." And then we after Savannah, I think, evacuated much of the sucker she tried to consume, and passed out.
I didn't throw up.
I thought you did. Okay.
No, I didn't throw up.
Okay.
Well,
no, I just put pajamas on and passed out forever.
Yeah. You want to go to dinner? Snoring.
Nope.
So I went to
But that was probably the best sleep you've ever had in a long time.
Always.
Oh man.
The best. I'm sure it was the best con sleep you've ever had. That's for damn sure.
Definitely.
Oh God, yeah.
And then I went to dinner with Darth Cleavage, who I just met as well, which I didn't have as much of a relationship with as much as I did. Well, yeah, as much as I did with Savannah. So it was like, it was fun to get to know somebody in a city that I was only in once before, and only know somebody really through somebody else. So it was cool.
You know, would have really helped pod decks.
Smooth.
Nice.
Smooth. Vamp. You threw this on me, and I once again didn't have the thing pulled up.
Anyway, I was gonna say, I've learned a lot about myself and edibles, that they just metabolize a lot quicker for me, and I'm celebrating today with a little too many. So
that's why the yawns were happening at such an early hour. Yes, for the kids out there, the marijuana edibles do process differently. They will take up to 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer to process before you feel the full effects of them. Also realize that when you smoke marijuana, regular ass THC, you feel the effects of pretty much immediately, yeah? About 30 seconds. Lasts about an hour, 2 hours. When you eat marijuana, your liver transforms it into Delta 11 THC as opposed to Delta 9. Delta 11 is 5 times more psychoactive. This is why we've all heard the story or experienced it ourselves. I ate the cookie, didn't feel anything, so I ate the whole box, and now I don't know what my name is.
Oh, man. Yeah, that reminds me of there was a recorded 911 call of a cop.
Yes.
Who ate too many edibles.
Yes.
And when he told 911, he's like, I ate some my wife and I ate some brownies, and I think we're dying. We're dying. You need to bring someone out here because we're dying.
I think I'm in space. I have also had too much edibles at a Comic-Con. I got to take an early version of an edible. It was medical grade. I had a medical card at the time. It was the year you and Jason came out, Francis.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had eaten half of the edible, which left 60 milligram for Jason and I to split. The 40 that I took did nothing. So I said the 30 will do nothing at all. It'll be a nice buzz for us both. It'll be great.
Sure.
It was, I believe, day 2 of the show. We all kind of went to go check out the show. I believe that was the year I brought Deadpool, because that was definitely you guys were there. And I was like, I'm going to go Deadpool it up. And we split that 30 milligram. Or 30 milligram, the 60 that was left, 30 milligram.
I remember this, yeah. I remember this.
I went out Deadpooling it up, photo bombing as much as I could, because, that's the only thing I could do, because I couldn't bring any damn guns or anything. And I started to feel the effects of this edible, and I thought that was very odd, because I ate more than what I just consumed, and I was fine. The difference being that I didn't have pizza and beer for breakfast, because that is the breakfast of champions at a Comic-Con. So I started getting really, really high. It was like a wall of weed hit me as I went up the escalator. And as I was trying to navigate through the show, through a Deadpool mask that I could barely see through in the best of times, I started to think, wait a second. My Canadian friend is sitting at the table, and if I'm this high, how fucking high is he? So I ran back to our table, and I found our Canadian friend, Mr. Jason Clark, with his head in his hands, and he just looked up at me and said, "What did you give me?" We both felt like we were tripping on mushrooms. We were so high.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And you were there, Francis. We were there to try and sell the podcast. So people were, some people that didn't think that we were selling pot were coming up to the table and inquiring about us. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Jason,
they only cared about one podcast, anyways. It didn't really matter.
That's true. That's true. But while Jason and I were sitting there high off our asses, people were coming up and trying to talk to us, and we were both just like, take the girl's card. That's the only one you want anyway. and like turned so many people away, and people kept coming by, like our friends, like, you doing okay? Yeah, we're fine, just really high. And it was about an hour later, we both like took a yawn, and it was like, oh no, I can handle this. Oh, this is fine. Let's go Comic-Con. And we went and did our thing. It was just like that first hour of being high. It was just way too much. And it was funny because I'm like, I'm a seasoned vet. Like, this shouldn't be happening. But here I am, all these years later, still just way too high. It was kind of fun.
And I'd never get that high again.
Next time Francis comes out here, though, I'm going to dose him when he doesn't realize it. Like, here, have this. Just eat this. You'll be fine. I'm driving you around anyway.
You know, you got to, I guess if you're going to, if you're going to do it, just like jump out of the plane and just do it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I would like to know, there are some people watching. I wonder if they smoke or consume. So we'll see if anybody says anything in the chat. Francis, you did mention the pod decks. They are our sponsor. Pod decks.
Did I? I don't remember.
You did. It was like 10 minutes ago. But nothing said, segues had to be, in time. Right?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Before we get
according
into that,
to this card on Poddex.
Before we get into that, though, before because I don't want to forget the picture that I have up on screen right now. That's weed that I grew, or I helped. I helped grow. I should say. I didn't grow it. I helped grow it. But yes, Poddex is our sponsor. They are unique interview questions and episode prompts. You can hold them in your hand. They have an app as well. Shuffle the deck, find you something that is interesting or intriguing. They work for anybody from broadcasters to podcasters. If I just keep reading the live read, instead of looking at the camera, I can get through this. Because I don't know what to do. I need like a teleprompter. Go to poddex.com and use the promo code POI Pod for 10% off your first order. And you can also do that with the app as well. Have some fun with it. It's fun. It's like Cards Against Humanity for podcasters. Hashtag.
No demonstration or like a card from the deck.
I mean, I had other things planned, but we can totally.
Oh,
do
okay,
that.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Wait, for you, Francis.
I just half anticipated because that's what you do normally. Is you take one out of the deck.
I have been. I'm randomly pulling. Which person do you most admire? That's kind of a basic one, but
yeah.
I mean, that's you get. There's a whole slew of different things. That's a little too basic for a podcast, I think, right now.
Okay, go ahead, change it up.
What will people look back at us 50 years from now and be shocked and appalled by? That's easy.
What will they be shocked and appalled by?
Yes.
I don't know, my massive penis. I don't know. No, no, they're like, that didn't happen. No, I don't know. What are they shocked and appalled by?
They walked around and shook hands.
Oh, you mean? I thought you meant about us.
Not us. Mean about the world. I think it was. I mean, it was capitalized. So I mean, us, royally. Us as a people, as a United States.
That we had royalty at one point. Like that royalty was a thing up until the 21st century. Like that's amazing that royalty is still a thing in the 21st century. Like that's crazy. That you just have to be inbred in the right bloodline and you can be treated like better than anyone else. That's insanity. Man.
Oh. You just broke it down too much and now I'm like
Right? It was like so weird.
It was very, very odd that the Formula One racing organization, which is a European racing organization,
Yes.
they deferred. They went early, or they deferred the qualifying for the race that took place on Sunday. The qualifying takes place on the Saturday. They changed the time of qualifying so that it didn't interrupt the televised funeral of what's his face.
Prince Philip, really? Wow.
Yeah. And I thought that was very shocking. I mean, maybe that is something that they have done in the past for royalty, but since I've been watching Formula One since the mid-90s, I haven't seen it. Or been aware of it, I should say. Because we don't get the same information here in the States that they do in the old British.
Yeah. Look, there's only one queen, and that's Savannah. Yas, queen!
Mm.
Woo!
Rocking it. Rocking it.
I mean, that's, I always find it. I find royalty just like the Prince of Brunei, right? Like, there's a prince who just is born into money and royalty and can, like, has billions upon billions of dollars to spend whenever he wants, and just like, I'll do whatever I want.
And I gotta like look at every $20 that I spend.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, can I spend this $5? Like, can I not? This other guy's like, I have 2,300 cars. Can I use another one?
Right.
It's like that's. It's just,
I need the same color, the same car, but in a different color.
Right.
We don't make that color in this color. I understand that. Make the car. Here's some more money.
So it's amazing how much, like, if money was no object, just the amount of power and things you can do. You can do anything. Once you hit the billions, you're just like, man, I just have to, and things happen. Like, that's awesome.
Paint this car in the whitest white.
Do the blackest black. So people lose their minds when they see a car that's the blackest black driving by.
Is it the shadow of something else?
God. And the windows are like, just
yeah.
And the only way you can see the road is like a camera and a monitor. It's just pitch black. And has like this little red light that goes back and forth in the front and talks to you.
That would be fresh. So I went to Universal Studios when I was a kid, and they had a replica kit car. And my brother and I sat in this car to check it out, wondering why there was such a long line for it. And I don't think it was Mr. Feeney, but somebody that sounded like Mr. Feeney or Kit, I'm pretty sure that was who Kit was, whatever, started talking to us because they had mounted a camera, microphone, and speaker inside this car. So somebody, just off stage, if you will, could see us and was talking to us, and I was flipping out a little bit because Knight Rider was the shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, touch me like that, Michael.
Yes, and keep shifting the gears, Michael. They also had an A-Team van that was on display.
Not as impressive, right? It wasn't as impressive.
Not as impressive, but for some reason, and I still, as an adult, cannot figure out why. But one side of the van was on hinges, so a toddler could walk up to it and pick up one side of the van and knock it over.
You're supposed to be able to carry it. You're supposed to. It was like, so it was a picture op, so you lift it up and it was like your whatever.
I was too young to understand it. And I said, "What does this have to do with the A-Team?" Like, even B.A. Baracus never picked up the van. So I was very confused.
Did you ever have an experience like that, Savannah?
No.
You didn't have like a fandom experience?
No.
Do you not have fandoms?
Nope.
I just like to wear my hair this way. Oh, that's okay. All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect. So we didn't do a show last week because I was working a whole hell of a lot getting ready for 420. Now that 420 is over, we can talk about the things I wanted to talk about last week, which was WrestleMania happened.
Why is it a pirate?
Because it took place in Tampa. at the
Like the
at the
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers, gotcha. Yeah.
Funny little anecdote before we get into the things that happened. I went and watched the WrestleMania with some work friends at a work friend's house. Who I myself and my two work friends and their wives are both half vaxxed. So we could do this. We're around each other every damn day anyway. So let's go watch some wrestling. So we're watching the wrestling. And I had never met the one guy. I never met either one of their wives, but I never met the one guy's wife that we were at the house at. They just had a baby. Oh. As I'm introducing myself, it's time to feed the baby. Now, normally this wouldn't bother me because I've been around. I like boobs, right? I've been around, I've been around ladies that are feeding their babies. It's not bothered me, but it threw me off because I was not quite through introducing myself yet before it was just like, hey, I'm like, whoa.
What is with women and showing you stuff?
I'm a heartthrob.
Oh yeah,
I guess. I still got it, Francis. Behind all of this awkwardness. No, it wasn't like time. No, it wasn't like she was showing me her boob. It was time to feed the baby. But it was just she was just very cavalier. Just like, meh. Yeah, but we're all friends here. Etiquette. I'm like, I just met you.
No. Wait. No, there's etiquette. You don't just go, well, stranger, it's time to feed the baby. And just like go and feed the baby. I mean, you turn around or something.
She wasn't like exposed. It was just like the process of getting things ready, and I was just like, whoa. And I wasn't offended.
I was under the impression
I wasn't offended by it. It just threw me off because I was like, I haven't done yet introduced myself. It's fine afterward. But just it was funny. But at one point, one of the work persons said, hey, let's smoke a joint. And I said, why not? We're all half vaxxed and we've been around each other every day. We go smoke a joint. And it was great. It's the first people I've smoked a joint with outside of my friend circle. That was outside of my friend circle the last time I smoked out of my friend circle.
So you were like those 10 kids who went into the dispensary to get one joint for the 10.
It may or may not have been when somebody was visiting and one of their relatives said, hey, do you want to get high? And I was like, well, I mean, sure, why not? And at the same time when I was doing it, I was like, whoa, I mean, I know my one friend, but I don't know these other people very well. And their family.
Want to get a drink?
What's that?
Is that the new want to get a drink?
Oh, smoke a joint? Yeah. Or smoke a bowl? Yeah, kind of. Amongst some people, sure. But so later in the evening, hey, let's smoke another joint. Well, why not? We go smoke another joint. Well, some more friends had shown up who were fully vaxxed. But I didn't know them at all, which has nothing to do with anything. But at one point in the circle, one of the two joints that was going around came back to me almost dripping wet.
Oh, that's gross.
I didn't realize it until I made lip contact.
No.
Immediate. Just kiss someone.
Immediate and full-on panic attack happened. I didn't even take a hit. I took it out of my mouth, passed it to the next guy, and exited the circle and went inside the house. I was just like, I can't even be nope. Because one, somebody doesn't know how to smoke a joint in this circle. 2, ew. and 3, ew. Like seriously, you're a grown ass man. Learn how to smoke a joint.
I don't. I'm sure that would have been me. I'm pretty sure.
Well, usually with these random weed circles, especially with a joint, I will bring a weed condom, a joint condom. Which
joint
is
condoms?
There is. So that's what I call them. They are glass tips that you put at the end of the joint, much like a cigarette holder, right?
Okay.
So this way you don't get lip aids or anything like that.
Wow.
It's a thing.
It is a thing. And
Like a
you
reed on a
also,
flute. I get you. Okay.
also, if some asshole in the group doesn't know how to smoke a joint, you don't have to worry about a wet joint coming back to you, because you're just taking the lit joint, stuffing it back into the condom, and then smoking from there. This is the only condom you can reuse. WrestleMania, things happened.
Right.
So no, check this out. So right after WrestleMania, Vince fired a whole bunch of people that were on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Last year there was they had a name for it, and now I am drawing a blank on the name. It was like Dark Wednesday or something like that, where they fired, furloughed, or deferred somewhere around like 100 plus employees and wrestlers.
Yeah.
And names. It was a never-ending list of names that were just coming up, and you're like, "What? These guys have all been released. This girl's been released. Holy crap!" Well, just after WrestleMania, before we get to WrestleMania, a slew of wrestlers were released. Of note, Samoa Joe, who was on screen as an on-screen commentator through half of WrestleMania.
At least.
Not only that, during the pre-show, stood in the rain during a thunderstorm in a clear trash bag.
Why?
Because that's his job, is to present.
Oh.
He's a wrestler.
In the rain?
He's a wrestler, but like he got a few injuries in the last couple of years, and they just put him on the table. Like just sit down for a little while. Well, they released him. He's still got a lot of go in him, and somebody will be picking him up after his 90-day non-compete. On the other note for me, were a tag team called the Iconics. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Their gimmick was awesome. For whatever reason, Vince decided to split them up as singles. As singles wrestlers, they were both doing the best they could with what they were given. And it just sucks that they were let go. But again, Peyton Royce, her husband, works for AEW, is a current wrestler for AEW. So I would strongly could possibly see not only the two of them, but also Samoa Joe going to AEW after their 90-day non-compete.
Yep.
There were a few others as well. Some
Bo Dallas.
which I wasn't around for a lot of when he was on TV, NXT, or the main roster.
There wasn't much.
There wasn't a whole lot. But the bit that I get to see, I saw a lot of the Bo Leave, the Bo Leave train, the Bo Dallas train.
Yeah.
He was great at what he did, and it's too bad that they couldn't find something for him. Where his brother, being Bray Wyatt and having the Fiend, there was rumor leading up to WrestleMania, when the first Kentucky Fried Fiend first appeared. So months ago, Randy Orton set he set the Fiend on fire. It was a dummy.
What?
So the Fiend was off the air for a long time and came back with this like melted Jason like appearance, and it got dubbed the Kentucky Fried Fiend. There was rumor that Bo Dallas was actually in this melted, Jason style suit, but apparently it wasn't. They were just getting ready to fire him. so the WrestleMania happened, and usually at most of the pay-per-views they have a celebrity show up. And
Ooh, who was the celebrity?
Usually the celebrities are horrible.
Oh,
they did have
okay.
Hulk Hogan there, which was bad enough. People were actually, you can audibly hear them booing. But this year,
when he walked out in like a pirate costume, and I sent that picture to my friend who was not watching it and was like, "Is that Hulk Hogan dressed as a colonial firefighter?"
What?
Yeah. He looks ridiculous.
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
he and Titus were both wearing these like pirate outfits. It was very, very
Well, like
odd.
Party City.
Yeah,
Pirate
total
outfit.
Party City.
Sure. Yeah.
Pirate outfits. But this year's celebrity entrant was somebody named Bad Bunny, who apparently is Puerto Rican.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Is a like a R&B artist?
I guess.
Hip
I don't really.
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
still very
sure.
confused as to who he is. Not really sure. But aside from that, Mr. Bunny put on the best celebrity appearance at a WrestleMania or almost any pay-per-view I've seen of recent.
I don't know. It was no Maria Menounos.
I said of recent.
No,
recent.
Maria Menounos wasn't. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was during the time I wasn't watching. But that did happen. But Mr. Bunny, he put on an amazing show. The picture on the screen that I have right now is him leaping from one of the corner posts.
Oh.
And he went full send. It was kind of nice to see, to be honest, to see someone that was actually in it to do it, not just be there to get a paycheck, which I feel a lot of those guys are not. A lot of the celebrity types are there for. They're just, what do I need to do? Okay. We'll get to the other
Learn
one.
one or two things. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to the other one very briefly later. But there were reports that Mr. Bunny was actually like taking this very seriously. He wasn't fucking around.
Yeah.
Good.
I am going to pull something up now. Mr. Bunny pulled off a fucking destroyer during the match.
Oh wow.
Now, I mean, it's an impressive looking move. I don't like. I gotta keep it up because it's fucking distracting the shit to me.
It is. It is. Yes. It's
But
like
it's-
a loop of the GIF. But yes.
But it's amazing that he went through the time to learn how to do it and how to take a few bumps. It was impressive. It was impressive. Of what else do I have of note here? The Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman match. Basically, I was just waiting for the big Shane bump. Everybody knew it was going to happen. I was able to find a GIF of it. Braun Strowman threw him off the top of the cage and onto nothing, and he flat backed the landing and just ate it. I thought they would throw him into a table or an airbag. Nope. Just the match.
Which is worse? Is this worse?
I would much have rather have taken the table. At least that breaks the fall a little bit.
Yeah.
The other big spot that happened in this match was Braun Strowman ripping the cage apart to pull Shane McMahon back into the ring. Which
It's almost like Vince McMahon's like, I'm not going to put you in my will unless you do one more cage drop every year.
Yeah, every WrestleMania, I need you to do some stupid, ridiculous 25 foot drop through or
The
into
dude's
something.
like almost 50 now. He's got to be.
Yeah,
Wow.
Easily.
Wow.
Easily. The other two big things that happened I thought was really cool. And I couldn't find a good GIF of it, but Bianca Belair won the women's championship.
That was such a good
Francis
match.
at the very beginning of this match You had Sasha Banks on one side, the cousin of Snoop Dogg, who was the current champion.
And was also in Mandalorian.
Yes. And then you had Miss Belair here on the other side of her in that stadium that actually had participants in it.
There's a crowd, full crowd.
First crowd in a year, in over a year.
Mm-hmm.
These two ladies, well, Bianca more than Sasha. Bianca broke character completely. She was trying to suck it in as she was breaking, but was tearing up before the match even started. Looked over at Sasha Banks. Sasha is a professional and I think cold-hearted, because she just kind of was like, "Yep."
There was one single faltering moment that she did.
There was.
It was there.
But didn't. I wouldn't say break. She didn't break. But she faltered. Where Bianca broke.
Yeah.
So who got fired?
Nobody got fired. Neither one of them got fired.
Okay.
No, but it was because they're realizing that they're the first Black women to headline a WrestleMania. Not even
that's cool.
Just compete, but
headline. They headline night one.
Okay, that's awesome then. Okay, I wasn't sure what the significance was, but that's cool. All right.
Part of Bianca's gimmick is she has like a 6-foot long ponytail that she uses.
I'll get there.
If right, that'd be awesome.
I mean, it's pretty long.
If you can imagine like a 40s dude with a cane walking down the street swinging the cane, that's how she swings her ponytail. And Bianca Belair is the EST of, at the time, NXT, because I don't know what the new gimmick lines are.
Oh, I thought it was like Eastern Standard Time.
No,
okay,
but she is
like
the
biggest,
bestest,
fastest,
quickest. And everybody wondered, is she ever going to use her hair as a weapon? And she's choked chicks out with it before, or used it, to tie up an arm or something. At the climax of the show, of the match, she took her ponytail and, like a Comanche warrior, not even that, more like a samurai warrior, sliced into the midsection of Sasha Banks.
Like she whipped it.
Yeah.
And she it literally left a mark, she was bleeding.
Yeah, she lacerated.
Yeah, she used it like a whip.
Yeah. Wow. And it made a snapping noise.
Oh, that's awesome. That's crazy.
It was amazing. It was cool. A very emotional after match that happened where her husband, who's also a WWE performer, ran into the ring, threw her on his shoulders, paraded her around, congratulated. His tag team partner came in. They all had a big family hug. It was really cool. I didn't find a GIF of it in time because I forgot, because I smoke weed. There was a women's match that happened where one of the ladies, as I stated earlier, it had rained. There was a thunderstorm. They actually delayed WrestleMania for 45 minutes. She was walking down the ramp and straight bit ass.
Yeah. It looked like it hurt too.
It did.
Wow.
It was like it was like she went into a seizure. Her whole body locked up and she fell backwards.
Yeah.
It was like John Cena kicked her in the face, but it's John Cena, so you can't see him.
Still don't understand that. Still don't understand that, but
it's his gimmick.
That's his gimmick. Oh,
that's part of his gimmick. So then on night two was boring as shit. I like that they are doing a 2-night thing, but they need to make sure night 2 is still entertaining. The only highlight for me,
they blew their wad early.
Oh, they were like a teenager on prom night. The only highlight for me of night 2 was Rhea Ripley winning her first women's championship on the Raw side of their 2 main shows, which was really cool because she is English, and they haven't had an English women's champion on the main roster in quite some time.
Now, was she fired?
No, she was not fired as either.
One of the Yes.
One of the ladies that I did mention earlier was in a WrestleMania match and was fired 4 days later.
Okay.
Budget cuts were the claim.
Oh, that's the reasoning, is budget cuts?
Budget cuts. WrestleMania. WWE made record profits last year.
Oh, gee. But they need to.
But, they needed to make budget cuts.
It's sold to some. Who did they sell it to again? Who did? Who's it sold to?
NBC has the rights to their U.S. stuff. But, that's also, USA is part of NBC. So it doesn't, it's not a big stretch there. They're already, part of the NBC family, really. But everywhere else in the world, you could still get the WWE network just normally. For people in the United States, you got to go to the Wecock.
Ew.
So Peacock and Fire Stick don't have a deal yet, and so I couldn't. So I paid for the service and then realized I couldn't download it because there wasn't an app for it. So I literally had to go into developer mode and then side load it from a website and then put it on.
Nice.
Wow, hacker over here.
Yeah.
Shoo.
That's what's up.
I didn't
right
wait.
there.
So wait, the Fire Stick has a developer mode, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
That's awesome.
It's Android. So why not?
Well, but some people. It's owned by Amazon, so I figured they'd probably want to keep that stuff.
That is true.
Locked up.
I was recently looking at tablets and Amazon. Amazon tablets. They kind of suck.
Oh well, there's a reason why they're only $100.
Yeah. I'm realizing this. Go ahead.
No, it's just they're terrible.
They really are. I don't really have anything else really planned here. And I know for myself that people are way too high for this. So
I was just gonna say, the weed talk at the beginning took up half the.
It did.
Podcast.
It actually took a little bit more than I thought it was going to take up, but that's okay because we're here to celebrate.
It's
a celebration.
The 16 ounces of.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
It was ice cold. It was so good. It was so good.
But you're a grown ass woman. You can.
That's right.
You have better beer choices.
That's right. I do.
But
I drank a grain belt today.
I don't even know what that is, but that's not a PBR. So,
It had a White Claw.
I could.
As soon as you said it, I got heartburn.
For good reason. I don't know. I've never had a PBR, so I don't know. I can't.
You can't. Then you can't knock it.
I know I can't say anything because I haven't had most beers, because beers make me not happy. So.
They don't make you happy. When you
that's the stuff that gets me all choky and weird.
Like sunflower and me.
Sunflower for you, yeah.
Peanuts for her, sunflower for me, beer for you. Man, our house is gonna suck.
Yeah. Oh man. These shenanigans we're supposed to have.
Well, the shenanigans will happen. They'll just our food choice, the pantries and the refrigerator are just going to be sad and depressing for depending on your point of view and who you are.
We're all going to have our own little mini fridge because of our individual allergies.
Because I won't remember to fucking keep the Snickers away.
Yeah.
God, at that point, if they're still around, somebody needs to slap me.
It's a nut-free home.
It probably will be, yeah. Savannah, where can people find you on the internets?
I'm on Twitter at Master of Raptors, all one word.
Awesome. Francis, where can the people find you on the internets?
Go check out sinceresarcasm.net. New episodes up every week. New one. Well, I'm recording one after this, so there you go.
Oh, sweet.
Like tonight?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's only
Yeah. Well,
7:45 there.
we usually end pretty early. Like we usually end at a time where I'm like, I have time still. I can
It's
probably record an
9:45 here. I forgot that.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. And also you can check out Francis on Super Geeked Up if it's
Yeah,
still
a new
happening
episode
right
tomorrow.
now.
Well,
Perfect.
Wednesday nights 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern for improv and comedy. If that's your thing.
I will be
Hopefully
there
it is.
tomorrow night to hang out. for
Otherwise,
like-
what's wrong with you?
I will be there to hang out for a half hour, 45 minutes or so. I like to at least get that first part. You know, is fun to participate in for
Let
me
people know
because
the
I
news
have to
in
get
the
up so
house.
early and I can't stick around. But yes, definitely check that out because it's awesome, super fun. You can check out me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram. You can call, text, or voicemail us at 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1 because I don't like synergy. And you can email us at thepoipodcast@gmail.com. I think that is everything. POIpodcast.com for the website, but who really goes to websites anymore, right? I don't know. You can catch us every week here on Twitch, 7:30ish Mountain Times, with the Duchess of Dogs, and the maybe the wigged or not wigged. We'll see again, and the Earl of Earls over there, Mr. Francis Fernandez.
I'm the Countess of Cleavage. No,
Yep. You are.
I
wouldn't mind.
I was thinking that, but I didn't want to offend.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Well, but if I had said it, it would have fit in with the Duke of Disappointment. So that is the show for this week. You will be able to catch us on the YouTubes. Thank you to everybody that has been watching this on the Twitch in post. It's been awesome to see those numbers. You can also watch over at the YouTubes as well, where it's a little more permanent over there. That's everything. Thanks for joining. We will see you next week. That's everything. Bye.
Bye.